House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan says he's now running for Speaker.
Yeah, a lot of craziness happening on the Capitol. He's meeting with a group of lawmakers he suspects are holdouts today. Some Republican lawmakers are pushing their colleagues to try and get behind Jordan. The lower chamber is still at a standstill until lawmakers pick a new speaker. They will not be able to do anything in terms of legislation. Now, this all comes after late last night, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise failed to get the votes needed to claim the gavel among other members of his party, and he dropped out of the race.
CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins us now. Thanks for being here. You caught up to Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan. Interested to know what did he say to you about his plans for Speaker, and is he a guy House Republicans can rally around?
Yeah, well, he did confirm to us that he is in this race yet again, although there could be other candidates. We know Republicans will be meeting throughout the day as they try to find another speaker. But Jordan told me that he is confident that he can win support of his conference. Take a listen.
Were you making calls last night about this?
We had a number of our colleagues call me last night, which I think we have. So we will go to the conference and talk with our colleagues. But I feel real good about my side.
Now, Jordan told me that he considers Scalise a good friend, that he was willing to nominate Scalise when Scalise was still in the running. But obviously now the big task ahead for him is trying to convince those who supported Scalise to back him so he can get that 217 votes that would be needed to clinch the gavel.
And Nikole, on that, there were only about a dozen votes that separated Scalise from Jordan in that behind closed doors meeting that Republicans had initially. What more can you tell us about why the majority leader, Steve Scalise, dropped out?
Well, you know, a big part of this was it was hard for him to get to yes with a lot of members. And as we just discussed, you know, that magic number right now is 217, 218. You know, there are some vacancies here in the House. But either way, he would just continue to fall short and didn't feel confident that he would have those numbers in a short period of time. I did speak with Congressman Diaz-Balart, who was working with Scalise, trying to help round up votes for him, and asked him what went wrong. Take a listen. Where did things break down in your view? I mean, you were helping to whip votes. Where do you think things broke down for Scalise?
You know, I adhere to Ronald Reagan's 11th commandment, right? But I will tell you, there were small groups of folks who, behind the scenes, and that was the part that was more painful for me, were trying to undermine his ability to get the votes.
There was a sense that some members just weren't ever going to go for Scalise or were trying to move the goalpost. And I think ultimately, you know, the majority leader realized that bigger picture, and that was part of his reason for withdrawing, although he said he will rally behind whoever emerges as Speaker.
Yeah, it sounded like, from his statement, it sounded like he was frustrated with the games being played in the halls of Congress. So, Nikole, if it's not Jordan, who else might be throwing their hat in?
Well, I think we'll kind of have to wait and see how the day plays out, but there have been a number of candidates who have been mentioned as other possible contenders, although, you know, again, we'll have to see who ultimately declares who takes on Jim Jordan, but certainly there's talk about some who are already in the leadership ranks, you know, and then also you have Speaker pro tempore Patrick McHenry, who continues to be in the role right now, kind of as acting Speaker. There's been questions about whether or not more powers could be granted to him in the interim until Republicans can rally behind a candidate. So still a lot unresolved, but, you know, Republicans are trying to get to a place where they can try to reach a consensus on a candidate and ultimately hold a vote on the House floor.
All right, Nikole Killion, thank you.